Hey, Shalom, blessings. Brother Paul here, disciple of Christ, and I'm in here in a undisclosed location, out of the country. And while I've been very thankful for this experience, opportunity to get away for the first time in so long, the Spirit's revealing things to me, so I'm here to share once again. I want to talk about not being thankful for what you have, for lack of gratitude, spirit of entitlement. So I'm away here in the beautiful tropics somewhere, and most places in the tropics, if you've been there, they don't have all the luxuries that most of us enjoy in the West. I'm talking about Canada, the United States. Most of the people who come here on holiday, vacation, they're not wealthy. Really wealthy people go to really expensive resorts, luxurious resorts. Not that this resort lacks anything, but I'm not a rich man. I was blessed to find a vacation package that was a very good value, at least for me. And but what I've noticed is, we have this in the West too, like Canada, United States, there's a real sense, a lot of people, of hating the rich, hating the wealthy. There's almost like a belief that, well, if you're wealthy and successful, then you lied, cheated, stole from someone to get your wealth. And that's true in some cases. There are these monopolies and corporations that, just bleed people dry and don't appreciate the people that work for them, don't pay them enough while their executives make, extreme amounts of money. And even when they have difficult times and they're cutting back jobs and stopping pay raises, their executives still get big raises. And people see that as being unfair, but there's a reason why people are executives. They're either, even though they may not be doing the ground frontline work that the average employee does, they often have that position because they either innovate or bring money into that organization. And then there's people that start their own business, their own company, and it grows, and they become very successful and wealthy. But they're the ones that did the hard work. They're the ones that took the risk, saved their money, and then risk all their savings on a business that a lot of businesses fail, and then people end up with zero. So it's not always as black and white as we think it is. And so people hate on the rich because they have more than they do. But then they don't realize, or they forget that they should be grateful too, because those wealthy people that started these businesses and companies, they've created jobs. Not everyone has it in them to start a business and be an entrepreneur. There's a lot of risk involved. It takes a big set of, you know what I mean, right? Takes chutzpah. If I can borrow from Yiddish, I believe that's Yiddish. So yeah, like, you might feel it's unfair that you're only getting an hourly wage to do a job and help make a company successful while the owners reap, the major benefits. But if those people didn't provide the jobs, what would you be doing? If you're not an entrepreneur and you're not willing to start your own business, or you don't have what it takes to start your own business, how would you live? So we should be thankful for what we have. And by all means, if you don't feel a company's paying you enough or paying your worth, no one's stopping you from educating yourself, improving yourself, upping your skills, and finding a better job that pays more money. And If you're familiar with Robert Kiyosaki, a very successful entrepreneur, wrote a very famous book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And, I've often seen interviews with him where, he basically says he's not afraid to share his secrets of making wealth because he knows that 99% of the people won't do it. They won't take the risk. They don't have the courage. They want security. They want safety. They want that steady paycheck. And people like him and even Donald Trump, they go up and down. They take risks and they make millions or billions, and then they lose it all and end it up at zero. But they know what they're doing. They have faith in themselves, and they do it again, and they build themselves up again. So, there's a reason why they're successful. I'm not saying they're always right, but you can learn a lot from them. And I'm not saying money is everything. I certainly don't care about being wealthy. As the Bible says, if you have a roof over your head, if you have raiment, if you have food to eat, be content because you're blessed. And I am thankful for having those things, that I've always had them. I've never been really hungry. I might have gone without meals for several hours and felt hungry, but I've never experienced true hunger where I was without food or drink. So where am I going with this? So, I talked about the West, and, there's a spirit of entitlement where people feel like they should get more than they're getting, and they hate the people that are providing them the very opportunity that allows them to put food on the table. And not just in the West, here where I am, I noticed on the resort here, a lot of these countries in the tropics are not wealthy countries, and one of their biggest industries is tourism. They rely on the money of tourists to support their families and to provide opportunities for them. And yet, while there are some people that I see on the resort, people that work here, number one, a lot of people kill themselves to get jobs on resorts, even though they might be highly educated. They'd rather work on a resort because with the tips and everything, they can make a lot more money than in other industries or trades, in their country. And some of them are fantastic. They love, they're thankful. They appreciate the tourists that come because they realize this is their bread and butter. And the tourists, most of them are, there's people that come here and complain, and they just got a bad spirit on them, and they're not thankful that they can even take a vacation when a lot of these people that live here don't have that opportunity. But a lot of them bring gifts. They tip well. They treat the tourists well, and there's employee. They treat the employees, the staff, very well, and there are staff that appreciate it, and they go the extra mile to make you feel welcome, to make sure that you have a great stay, even though they themselves cannot take a vacation like we are taking. But then we have the other side, the other people that, because they can't do what the tourists coming can do, they're envious, they're bitter, they're resentful, and they go out of their way to they sabotage themselves by actually trying to make the tourists or the visitors have a bad time, a bad stay. They give lousy service because they're jealous because they don't have these things. And I get it to an extent. You live in a country, you have very little, and people come from outside and they have more than you do, and they can enjoy all the blessings that your country offers while the people living there can't. So I get that side of it, but they also have to realize if you sabotage it, if you upset the tourists and make them feel unwelcome, they're just going to stop coming. And then what happens? Then what do? If tourism's the main industry in your country, how do you support your family then? So we have to be thankful for that. And obviously, I'm a disciple of Christ. That's my channel's about the faith. So I can parallel that to the Bible. You look in the Bible, in Israel, it was Yahweh's chosen people. They receive so many blessings from him, so much mercy for all their transgressions, and yet thankless, stiff-necked. You know, people, they bite the hand that feeds them, they shoot themselves in the foot. They don't appreciate whoever giving them blessings, in this case the Most High, and then they go against him, and then they curse themselves. So it's just something I've noticed. It's, you know, maybe it's a spirit, but it's definitely something that afflicts all of humanity in all walks, in all levels, all nations, regardless of what color you are, what religion or faith you practice. So again, as always, I'm just trying to point things out to hopefully encourage people, edify them, educate them, and maybe give them perspective. And if there's somewhere where you're having problems in your life because of your attitude, maybe this will help you to reflect and see if this applies to you, and maybe you can change your mindset and come out of it. So I think that's basically my message. I hope that it helps, and just be thankful for what you have, because although there's always people that have more than you have, there's always people that have a lot less too. And if you hate on the people that are actually providing your opportunities because you're jealous or because you feel it's unfair or you deserve more, then you might just encourage those people to take those blessings away and bring them elsewhere, and then you're stuck worse off than you were before. And same with the Most High. You know, if you can't be thankful and show him the gratitude and the honor that he deserves, you know, don't expect blessings. But I know where my blessings come from, and I strive every day to make sure I give due honor. And of course I fall short like everyone, and when I catch myself, I repent and I strive to do better. So that's it for tonight, and blessings to you wherever you are. May the Most High continue to bless you, and as I always say, seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh, and all other things will be added unto you. But be thankful. You've got a lot to be thankful for. Regardless of whatever problems you have, take an inventory of every blessing in your life. Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have a job or a means of income? Do you have food to eat, clean water to drink, a warm bed to sleep in? Are you healthy? Because a lot of people don't have that. Disciple of Christ, Brother Paul, Shalom and blessings.